everybody. Welcome to the iProv vlog, where we talk about how to help business leaders grow their business. I'm Jordan Smith, VP of Sales and Marketing with iProv, and as always, I've got my co-host Patrick Laughlin here with me. What's up, Pat?
What's up, Joe? How are you today?
I'm doing good. Today we're going to talk about I feel like a very pertinent topic, especially for anybody in leadership, whether it's talking to employees or customers or clients, or even your other folks on your leadership team, which is how to have hard conversations. Not a fun topic, but an important one.
No, and I would say that it's sort of a prerequisite for leadership. If you can't have a hard conversation, you're going to have a really hard time being a leader in any organization at any level.
Yeah.
Because they're incredibly uncomfortable. It's really easy to sort of just keep pushing the can down the road to sweep things under the rug, but eventually it's going to fester and you are going to blow up.
Yep.
And so having those hard conversations early and often is really, really important. So, Joe, what's your best strategy for having hard conversations?
I think you hit on it. One of the things that I always say whenever I'm talking to other leaders or even when we bring on new employees or new clients or anything like that is, and this sounds weird, but find as many opportunities to have those things early and often, right? Course correction in the beginning of any type of relationship or partnership is a lot easier than trying to do it down the road once they've already built in certain habits with how to communicate with you or how the work gets done or how they're accustomed to seeing the work pass through the process. Whatever the case may be, I always say try to find lots of opportunities to overcorrect and have hard conversations in the beginning, just so you kind of set the stage on how the relationship and partnership looks.
Yeah, and I think it really does start with some of those little pet peeves, things that and I think this is sort of where it starts with self-awareness. The best example I have is just a couple of weeks ago, we were adding a trademark symbol to a client's logo. And a little pet peeve of mine is I like the trademark symbol in the top right.
Yep.
There's two acceptable positions. There's top right and bottom right. And the person that had been assigned this put it in the bottom right. It's totally acceptable. It is a totally legitimate place to put it. But my pet peeve, the way I like to see it, is at top right. It's the way I'm wired, and if I'm going to look at it and sign off on it, and so just telling them immediately, hey, you did a fantastic job. I should have given this instruction at the beginning, but I really like it this way, means that they're going to do it that way from now on, and we don't have to, it doesn't build into some resentment of, God, they always put it in the wrong spot. And I feel like I always have to adjust it. Then after 6 months of it bothering you and they've been doing this, you finally go, Jesus, just put it where I want it. You've had what is an uncomfortable conversation of, hey, this is really stupid, but I have this personal preference. I'd really like it here. And they go, great, personal preference is a thing, and I won't put it at bottom right anymore. I'll put it at top right. That's a really silly example, but I think it is a good example of sort of addressing the little things early, and so that they don't become huge things.
Even with employees too. We're not saying, what we're not saying is find opportunities to be a dick.
No.
We're saying find lots of small opportunities to course correct and have those hard. It's a lot easier having a lot of small, tiny, difficult conversations than the one big hard conversation later. If an employee's first couple times there's a meeting, they're a couple minutes late, you might say, well, it's only 2 or 3 minutes past, we'll let that. I'm saying, hey, listen, I just want to let you know, I think, like you said, you're doing a great job, but we typically like to hop on here a couple minutes early, just so we can get all the pleasantries out of the way so that the real meeting starts at fill in the blank. Those are fine conversations to have, and they help set the stage for how your organization and how you as a leader like things done. Because the other end of that spectrum is not fair for that employee or customer or vendor either, to where they think everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you blow up because they're 5 minutes late to a meeting. You're like, Jesus Christ, I never knew that was an issue. We've all been on the opposite end of those conversations too. We say, man, he must be having a bad day. No, it's because that individual did not feel like having that tiny little course correction conversation. So now it turns into this big giant thing.
Yeah, I want to encourage people that are not in leadership roles to have hard conversations with your leaders too. If there's something about their behavior that bothers you, now keep in mind this is risky territory. But if you're working for the right person and they are open to that conversation, you will impress them in ways that you don't expect. And it shows that you genuinely care about the performance of the business and them as a leader, and not just letting their behavior be an issue. And if you can't have those sort of direct conversations, try to have it with somebody that can have those direct conversations, because a leader's behavior is sort of the model for the entire organization. And if their behavior is not modeling good behavior, they need to be told so that they can change it. That's their job.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're for everybody who's watching this or listening to this, we're all trying to make meaningful improvements in our organization. Having these small kind of course correction conversations throughout the relationship is one of the more meaningful things you can do to make sure that everybody is rowing in the same direction.
Well, and so lastly, I'll say it's important to have peer conversations too that are hard, and those might be the hardest.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to sort of have a hard conversation with their work friend, but the truth is, your work friend may be causing you to have to work a lot harder than you have to because they're not pulling their weight. And yeah, you like them personally and you have fun and you share jokes, but the truth is we're all here to get a job done, and if they're making that job harder than it needs to be, either tell your boss so that they can have a hard conversation, but I would tell you, don't be afraid to have a peer-to-peer conversation, because often those are more meaningful and more impactful. Yes, you put a relationship at risk, but if it's a good relationship, it will flourish because of those conversations, not sort of flounder because of them.
Sure. And if you want some more information on kind of how to go about that, go back and watch our previous video about how best teams are always recruiting and how to think of the organization like a team or a tribe as opposed to a family. That'll at least get you in the right mindset. So conceptually, that's our thought process on hard conversations. We can go through kind of more of a procedural kind of roadmap for that and how we handle those and train our people to handle those. And we will coming up. So stay tuned for that one. But until next time, like, comment, share. Let us know what your thought process is on hard conversations and how you guys wrap your head around it, and even formally how you format these whenever you have to have them. We'd love to just know what other business leaders out there are doing. So like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your ideas, your concepts for this also. Pat, as always, I appreciate it. And until next time, peace, peeps.